cloud. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to, my name is Johnny Nosike. I thank you, Mazi, Ezoke, and Njenje Media for this opportunity to meet again. Thanking also the NINAS family for this moment again, when we come together to discuss and educate our people on the matter that we are passionate about, which is the freedom of our people. Dismantling the constitution that has made living in Nigeria impossible. Setting our people free from the bondage that they have been in for a very long time. I thank every one of you for answering this patriotic call and for being here every week, participating, contributing your ideas, your questions, and all for the purpose of accomplishing that purpose on freeing our people from the bondage of the Nigeria that we see today. Before we start, I want to go through some rules, and everybody would be muted. Names need to be used, not phone info. In other words, if your name is John Doe, we want to see John Doe. So when you're speaking, we know we're listening to John Doe. You can provide contact info in chat, because we have chat. Zoom provides the chat, the place where you can chat, and you can provide you can ask questions there also. You can raise hands to ask questions. Be ready to unmute line if called upon. In other words, when I call upon you to speak, your line is already muted, so you're going to be ready to unmute so you can speak. Do not repeat questions. If it's already asked, you don't need to ask it again. Have about 30 seconds to 1 minute to speak. That's the one where I actually prefer that it's more important for us that you fully express yourself, that we understand you clearly, than to cut you short. I don't want you asking a question and you're already fighting time and thereby affecting your getting that question to us. Now, starting, we have quite a few things. I see a lot of our brothers and sisters here today. I see Sir Budaja there. I see Dr. Posi. I see, yes, I see Enyeribe Anyaung. I see all of you. I see many of you, and more people are coming in. And we're going to talk about the constitutional review that has been going on with the National Assembly. Every one of us here understands that a constitution is a product, is something that the people make. It's not a job of the National Assembly. The constitution is made by the constituents. So anytime you hear the National Assembly talking about making a constitution or reviewing a constitution, it makes you wonder who they are making it for. It's possible that all these years, when people stood aside and tolerated a constitution they did not make, Nigeria has now reinvented, is now poking at that tolerance, at that thing again, where they are trying to do the things without the authorization of the people. At this point in time, I'm actually going to ask if anyone here wants to add to, has any comments to make about this constitution and the national review of the constitution by the National Assembly. Please speak up, please unmute yourself and add and tell us what you think of it.
Can I jump in?
Yes, please do.
Quickly, I wouldn't take much of our time because this is our people's program, so we have to sit back and ask questions. But I just want to let people know that our own groups have, in fact, the Afenifere has also disassociated itself from the charade going on all over the place. When you are solving a problem, there's a scientific way of solving problems. You define what the problem is, analyze it, find alternative solutions to it, evaluate it, and implement the best one. So the foundation of our problems is that each region, that's what takes place in federations. Each region should have its own constitution. So what is happening now is that, number one, Nigeria is not, they say it's a federation, but it's not a federation, it's a unitary system. And we've said all the time that federation is made up of conglomeration of constitutions. So even if they amend it, what they're amending is a unitary constitution. So the question people should ask is, where is the Igbo constitution? Where is the Yoruba constitution? Where is the Ijaw constitution? How to solve it is very simple. I don't know why why they are afraid of this. So I don't want to crowd out our people's time. But I just want to let people know that Afenifere has disassociated itself from it. Ilana Modua, which is an associate, which I represent here, has also disassociated itself from the charade going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olatubosi. Olatubosi, thank you so very much for that. Here's a few facts that we need to know about the Constitution. One is this: the Constitution is the 1999 Constitution. The Constitution is fraudulent, and it was not made by the people. And constitutions are made by the people that represent the masses. It is a fraudulent constitution, and it cannot be amended. Critical point is that it does not rectify the fact that the self-determination sovereignty of the ethnic nationalities has been hijacked and needs to be restored. Nigeria, that the people agreed to, is a federation, not a unitary government. UN Charter and international law support NINAS plan. Citizens are disadvantaged in that their rights are not enforceable, according to Chapter 1, Section 6, subsection 6C. Revenue sharing is skewed too far north. Presidency is skewed too far north. Immunity of the governing leads to corruption. Assets of ethnic nationalities are seized. Governing structure is meant to make the masses poor, and federal character is unenforceable. People have asked if there have been any constitutional changes. And yes, there has. South Africa took down the apartheid constitution, Chile, Ghana, Argentina. All these things have happened. We're not asking Nigeria to do something that has never been done before. At this point, we are going to go to questions, because this forum is for people to understand what we are doing. Who NINAS is? NINAS is a Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. What we are asking for is to gain our sovereignty back. We come to these forums, a lot has happened. If you're here, chances are that you have also heard about the constitutional force majeure that was activated on December 16th, 2020. And we are going through a process right now that leads us to the place where we have our full sovereignty restored. This is the process. We know that we will eventually get there, that we will get there. We are going through the process right now. We welcome you that is watching to be part of this movement. It will be a joyful day. That day is guaranteed. The day when our sovereignty is restored and we can put in place the society, the economy, and everything that we desire, when we will have total control of our territory. So at this point, I'm going to call you Seb Udaja. We're going to also ask if you have any questions, please to raise your hands, and so we can hear you. So can we go to the first question? Who's handling the first question? Who is handling the question for us? Seb?
Yes.
Yes. Please unmute and come in.
Yes. Important is to find out first whether there are any outstanding questions. Otherwise, we take those questions that we have been asked by people earlier on. And I hope I'm having the correct list. of the questions. I'm not very sure whether you have another list altogether.
Okay. Yeah, I know you do have a list. Jim was telling me that you have a list of questions.
I'm trying to find
Okay.
the number one of it.
Whilst Seth is looking for the questions, Johnny, this is Uche. Can I have a Can I comment?
Oh yes, Uche, go ahead, please.
Yeah, yes, I know you must. So this is just to add on to comments on the Constitution or constitution making. I think I would like to contextualize it a bit within the Nigerian context, of course. I think we can summarize the battle that we've had in Nigeria over the last 100 years as simply the battle to have the expression of the free will of the people who currently find themselves in the environment currently known as Nigeria. Now, so if you look at what our forefathers have been up against and what we're having to contend with today, the summation of it is the ability to express our free will. And there has been a war against that ability to express that free will. And so, if I may just say, whether it be even 1960 when we were able to get our, when the elections took place and the rigging that took place, or when you had the 1979 elections, and the 78 constitution that led us up to that, it was simply, you had your no-go areas. It was very, very clear. There were no-go areas. When you had your elections in the 90s, and the wrong result, you had Abiola he won the election, and those who think that they own Nigeria decided to annul it. You could see that every single step of the way, there's just simply been a war against the free expression of our will as people who occupy that space that is known as Nigeria. And all that we're asking for with this new attempt to make a constitution is to break with that past and to allow people, free men and women, exercising their free will to make a constitution that can carry their aspirations forward. To make a constitution.
Thank you. Thank you, Uche. And what I must say to that is constitutions, because what we had before when we started the union were 4 constitutions, one for each of the 3 regions that started. And then we went to a place where then one for the federal government, when the federating units got together and said, okay, here's the constitution, the one that is going to bind us together. But each of the regions had their constitutions. So the journey we are embarking on is one that produces constitutions, first of all, starting with a decision as to whether we want to even come into the union or not, whether we want in or out. Then constitutions that emerge out of it could be that of regions, and then the federal one. In other words, the regions will now decide how they plan to unite, how they plan to relate to other regions. Whatever the people decide becomes the reality of that day, and will be in a part of that constitution. So we're talking about constitutions that could emerge, not just one. But I get your point.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right, and I stand corrected. In any federation, the constituent or the federating units, should have their own constitutions, and in joining together, they have that overall constitution or the union constitution, but that doesn't supplant the constitution of the subnationals. Absolutely
yes.
right.
That's right, yes. So I'm going to play a video right now. You're going to find this interesting. This was President Buhari's speech at the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. Take a here.
We need to remind ourselves of the principles that led to the founding of the United Nations. Among those are peaceful coexistence and self-determination of peoples. In this context, Mr. President, the unresolved question of self-determination for the Palestinian people and those of Western Sahara.
Did anybody hear that? This was President Buhari advocating for the self-determination of the Palestinian people in front of the United Nations in 2015.
That was the first speech he gave when he became president. The very first speech he gave.
Exactly. Let's continue.
Both nations, having been adjudged by the United Nations as qualifying for this inalienable right, must now be assured and fulfilled without any further delay or obstacle. The international community has come to pin its hopes on the resolving Palestinian issue through the two-state solution, which recognizes the legitimate right of each state to exist in peace and security. The world has no more excuses or reasons to delay the implementation of the long list of Security Council resolutions on this question. Neither do we have the moral right to deny any people their freedom or condemn them indefinitely to occupation and blockade. We need...
That is rich, isn't it?
Yes. I'm trying to stop the video.
Why do you want to stop it? Johnny, I don't find it funny, so stop laughing. These are serious words that our president was pronouncing in the United Nations. They are very serious words. Yeah.
Yes.
Self-determination is a right that is inalienable to any folk. So he was very correct. So I don't approve our laughing over it. Please, let's take it serious.
Yes, I totally agree with you. It's what's even funny about it is how hard he's fighting to contradict himself in Nigeria. And I would like inputs. Anybody who wants to talk about that? Anybody? Yes, Edwin, unmute yourself, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, please activate your video. Yes.
Okay. Edwin is my name. I'm from Delta State, Nigeria. I find it so expedient to speak on this platform. It's a very nice one. You see, I was highly touched with what if the president can say that about the Palestinians having the right to live on their own, why would he be killing people in the Southeast? In fact, it's so annoying. I find it so difficult to answer so many of these questions. What has the Southeast done that has led to so much anger from the federal government? When knowing very well that what started this issue is the henchman thing. Before now, all has been well. If somebody has not come to tell us that they are the owner of this land, they are the owner of our father's land, I don't think there would have been this problem. So why don't we address that problem and forget about giving a dog a name in order to kill the dog? It's so absurd, it's so annoying. Then on the issue of the Constitution, a section of this country is already telling us that they are the owner of this country. Based on that constitution, that deceitful constitution they've been using all this year to tell us that we are nobody, that they own this country, they own the constitution, there's nothing anybody can do about it. If you like, you call all your raw anger, that it's not going to work. So I don't see why this constitutional review thing is, I don't see why it should be, because to me, if there is a way we should all abandon it, it's better and ask for a new constitution.
Thank you.
Because, yeah,
thank you.
You're still going to have twisters and twisters. So that is the same thing. So thank you. We don't have much time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's the Constitution. And does anybody, there's a question. Thank you very much for that input. The Constitution review of the National Assembly is dead on arrival. They don't have the power to make constitutions.
Exactly.
Yes. The Constitution is made by the people, the constituents. I saw an interesting question, a really good question here in the chat. It's from Bitrus Kobong. Bitrus, are you there? I'm trying to find Bitrus Kobong.
Yes,
yes,
I'm
please,
there. I can hear
please.
you.
Oh, yes, please. Can you please speak up? I want you to ask. This is a really good question that you have put out there. Please speak up. I want to hear you. I want us to hear you.
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity. I am involved. I'm from Gombe State, so I'm from southern Gombe State. I am from one of the smaller tribes there called Tangale, and we've been following NINAS. Very, very interested in what is going on. We feel we are part of the movement. We consider ourselves part of the Middle Belt movement, so in central Nigeria. But I'm trying to figure out what is the structure under NINAS, whereby, because in my mind, I envision different regions of Nigeria. However, we decide finally to agree to work together, I think power should go to the regions. But so I'm trying to figure out, is there a structure whereby members of, say, the Middle Belt can identify or be a part of what NINA is doing, so that we have a kind of some protocol to follow when we are communicating and trying to understand the process of the movement. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Who would like to speak to? Thank you very much for that question. I have an answer here, but I want somebody else to take it. Who else among? Because we have so many knowledgeable, very brilliant minds on this forum. I don't want to do all the talking. I would like somebody to take this on. Dr. Posey.
Okay. I think you should go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
I can take it if you want me to, Johnny. It's
okay. Well, let me go this way. NINAS, my brother Bitrus, is the Middle Belt is part of the alliance. It's you're already part of NINAS by being from the Middle Belt. So if you look at the constitutional force measure and all the signatories, you'll see a host of signatories from the Middle Belt that signed. NINAS is an alliance of the South and the Middle Belt. And all the ethnic nationalities in the South and the Middle Belt, that's who NINAS is. So you're already part of NINAS by reason of being from those areas. And there are people that we can, in fact, we get your information so we can communicate with you, so you can be aligned with individuals within the Middle Belt. Some are on this forum already that can give you more information, and then you can contact us on NINAS also for more information, and we can send you to the right people. I really like your question. And Uche, you can actually, I guess for the sake of time, we can, yes, Uche, you can go ahead. And Seb, are you ready with the questions?
Johnny, I think you've addressed it. You've addressed it, so I really don't have any.
Okay, go ahead, Uche. Go ahead, Uche. Yeah, yes.
You've addressed the question. You've addressed the question. So I don't have anything else to add. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Any more questions? Any other questions?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Series of questions. Yeah, there's a hand up.
Okay. Adeoye King. Okay.
Adeoye King has a question, and while he's preparing to, he's already unmuted. I think there is we have additional videos that we want to show. Since you do not know about the Constitution, and then I don't know who has it. Any person has that video, and about NINAS, there's another video. Yeah, the 10 things in Pidgin. While he's asking the question, we check out whether those videos are available. If not, we do without them. So, Johnny?
Yes.
Adeoye King might want to ask. And then another hand is Iyabo. I see your hand. So let's hear Adeoye first of all, please.
Exactly. Let's start with Adeoye King. Adeoye, please unmute and speak.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am very happy to be given this opportunity to speak at this forum. So it's my first time here, though I heard that it's a recurrent meeting. So I would definitely love to be part of it, every session of it. Okay, my question is I'll just try to be direct. Now, the alliance, I believe, I've gone through the sites and I've seen some of the things that has been done. The notice of constitutional force majeure, which I think is a very good one. I want to ask, at what point are we as regards that? I believe we have notified the Nigerian government. So are they willing to dialogue? Are they willing to listen and take the next step with us? Or are they unwilling? So in the case where they are unwilling, what else are in our capacity that we could do? Because I want to believe very much that we don't plan on using violence. So what do we have other options? Do we have anything that could compel the Nigerian government to listen to what we have to say, that this constitution, it's not about amending it, it is invalid, it's a fraud, and we need to draft our constitution per region and then know if we want to associate and bring the terms of negotiation of each nationalities to the table. So firstly, are they willing? So if they are unwilling, secondly, what do we now do? Because I believe we are not going to go through a violent means. Because from the record, I believe the Nigerian state is backed by international communities, some international powers. And with that, we come to the negotiating table with our pen and paper, and they come with support from overseas, guns and everything. I think we might not be in the best position to be listened to. So we should also look into having some kind of external support, let me put it that way. So I just want to know how are they taking this? Are they willing to dialogue with us? And if their body language is they are not willing, what do we do? If they come down with force, what do we now do? That's my question.
Right. You are muted, Johnny. Johnny, you are muted.
Thank you. Who would like to take that question? I have an answer, but who would like to take that question?
Can I
Dr. Posi?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Adeoye King. You would have noticed, I believe from the name, that you are from my region. You're from the Yoruba bloc. Thank you, and thank you so much for reading, all the facts from the NINAS website. And this is exactly what we want people to do. But there is also one document that which you need to read. It is the force majeure document itself, which was signed on 16th of December 2020, you would have seen members of our bloc there, the Igbo Nation there, the Middle Belt there. So what I want you to know is that, you see, everything we are doing is within the United Nations Self-Determination Directive, which Nigeria is also a signatory to. You heard the president of the country saying that today. So self-determination, there is also a self-determination document, but I'm not sure whether the document is now on our website, but I've downloaded it before. It was circulated some time ago. But you can also Google that. You can actually download the PDF format. It's available on the website. But what I want you to know is that everything we are doing is exactly within the Self-Determination Directive. So in December, between December and March, we gave the government of Nigeria up to 16th to respond. They didn't respond. So we moved to the next thing, which is consultation with the politicians. That was for a month. And then after that time, we started consulting with the people. And that's exactly where we are now. And you can see, I mean, today you would have heard Sunday Igboho and, not only Sunday Igboho now, Yorubas in Ekiti, trooping out in thousands as we speak, demanding that they want to leave Nigeria. So that's where we are now. We continue to consult with the people up till August this year. So I will want you to read up that thing. And then this question about what's the next thing. And I want you to trust NINAS about this. I remember in December, people were asking, you see, let me take it back. When we were doing the consultation all over the place, the solemn assemblies, people were saying, what is this about? And then it distilled into what we did in 2020, and now what we're doing now. So people are wondering, what is the next thing? Where we're going is that if the Nigerian government cannot do it, then they will be compelled to do a referendum or plebiscite. That is the ultimate. That's where we're going. And that's it. I mean, there's also a timetable, not a timetable, but timeline of things that we need to do. But we're doing it well now. And I want us to continue to do what we're doing. That is, where we are now is that we're consulting with the people. We have one more step to go, and that will be the referendum. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This thing, okay, sir. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry that my video is not on. By the way, if you have some constraints with your internet connection in Zoom meeting, the first thing you do is to switch off your video, then your voice will be stable. Just to add to what Dr. Posi said, people are asking, how do we get it? What do we do next? Shall we go and start buying rockets? Shall we go and start building Obunigo? Listen, friends, there are many ways of killing a rat. Okay? That's the elder said. What NINAS is doing, NINAS is going it the civilized, the peaceful way. And whether or not this government likes it, this way will succeed because it is a way of the people. But the only thing you got to know is that you, hearing me now, you and your family, you must be part of it. You must be part of it. You cannot sit on the fence and hope to get your freedom. No. You must be part of it. And your family must be part of it. Your cycle must be part of it. And you are the one to activate them. Because many of them don't even have internet, not to talk about Zoom meeting that we're having. You are the privileged one. You are the one that has been sent by God, by nature, to be the gateway to all the other people. You must activate them. You have to have your own network. Each of us must have his own network. Every person. That is what the Western people have done, the Yoruba movement, and is already working. Those of us from Middle Belt, this is the time to start forming your network. And how does it start? You go online to ninasffn.org and register for the referendum. As you are registering, you are telling your wife to register. Your network is already
Did
started.
you say Dr. Yange was supposed to
Your network, mute yourself when you are talking. Johnny, thank you. So your network is already starting as you are putting your wife in your little notebook. Okay? Tell your son, who is already 18 years, to register. You have 3 persons there. Tell your son's fiancé to register. You've got another family already. Through your son's fiancé, get the family of your fiancé, get them to register. You are the one to make sure that they have registered. And as they are registering, you are writing them in your small notebook. You make a big circle, family A, okay? Like a family tree. You start drawing the family tree, and then make sure that that family starts to do the same thing that you have done. If we do this, as the 120 days are running, if we do, this is the time according to the protocols of NINA, the time we are in now is called activating the people's power. So we are sensitizing and mobilizing you, and you are sensitizing and mobilizing your family, your church people. Have you talked with your pastor about this? Does your pastor know this? The pastors are very busy. They are very busy. They don't sleep in the night. They are studying the Bible. They are studying the word. They are preparing. They are communicating with the Holy Spirit. They don't know about NINAS. You, my friend, you have to get your pastor to know about NINAS. You have to get your pastor to know that God has already done his work for us. He has already given us the knowledge. He has already given us the formula through the people who have worked for the past 20 years. They are on the 21st year in this program. I joined not long ago. So people, it's a gift from God. Okay? And many pastors don't know about this. You, my friend, have to tell your pastor about this. And when your pastor knows this and understands it, your pastor will preach it. He will preach it from the pulpit. Because this is actually a holy message. The first time we are talking about actualizing our self-determination as a people, and we want to do that peacefully, okay? After this stage of sensitization and mobilization, which you will play a very important role at, after that, we are going to stop election of 2023. That is when your network will prove itself. Your network will prove itself. Are we able to stop election 2023? Because those national elections are they are the breathing pipe with which this fraudulent constitution has been breathing. We have to remove that pipe. We must remove that pipe so that this constitution will die a natural death.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, in fact, just doing the Zoom thing here and also moderating is a bit, so I just flipped to a different page and then I saw Dr. Yange and he had some questions. And Dr. Yange, please pick up with the questions that you have.
My apology, please. What happened is that an urgent issue came up with one of the church members who I've just dealt with now. and has just left. That's why I couldn't join us in good time. And so I don't even know where you are now, since I've just joined.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can just then we can proceed, and then we can come back to you later.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yes, and then on what Seb was just saying regarding the Constitution. The Constitution is a social contract. God did not create Nigeria. Men did. People got together one day and said, we're going to create Nigeria. Nations can start, nations can end. So people cannot treat the 1999 Constitution as something that is immutable, something you cannot change. It is a document. It is a fraudulent document. We did not make it. I mean, think about this. You travel to countries and they tell you about their ancestors and what they did, the history of their nation, and they talk about it proudly. What are we going to tell our people, our descendants 100 years from today, if we continue on the same path that we're in? What will they think of us? That we stood there and watched some people, a minority ethnic group in Nigeria, come together, make a constitution, and we say, well, okay, make we manage them now, and we continued. Is that the legacy? Is that how we want to be remembered? No. We owe them a platform upon which to build their civilizations. We owe them that platform. And that is what NINAS has done. NINAS went ahead. Like Seb pointed out, a lot has happened in the past 20 years. You look at the NINAS that we have today, from the lower Niger, from the Yoruba, from the Middle Belt, these things took years putting together. People going quietly, discussing with people from different ethnic nationalities, people calling their own people together, having meetings. Nobody knew about this going under the radar until everybody was fully committed. Even then, they started reaching out to the United Nations. They already went to the United Nations to find out what needed to be done. Already put the background, all the work that needed. When these guys come together, I wasn't there then, when some of these guys, Tony Nadi and the rest of them come together, sit back and tell you what happened back then, the meticulous work that they put in to get this to where it is right now. United Nations, many of you remember the engagements, that one I was involved in, the engagements with the US government in, I was in 2019. You remember Congress, US Congress, House of Representatives, June 5, in the Senate, June 11th, the State Department, this July 16th, getting this information to the United States where they understand it, where they understand what we are dealing with. This is also a security situation, a national security situation for them, because people are invading our space who don't like them one bit. So they are involved in this thing, not just for us, they are in here for their own selves, because that is the force that is coming against them. So you look at the work that has been done, the part we're in now, the stage we're in now is the stage where we say aloud, yes, that's us. You get the point? Where the people come in and say, we have already declared the force majeure, and the steps are going to be, nobody is going to shoot at anybody, because that's the part we're in. We are following it according to international, United Nations, according to rights protected by the United Nations. I'm going to go to Iyabo for his question. Iyabo, please unmute.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I've been participating in this thing for quite some time, and I'm happy to be a part of it. As a matter of fact, I was very grateful when somebody added me to one WhatsApp where I saw this information. But I'm very happy with the development yesterday when our government banned Twitter. Why would I say this? Because I see it as a golden opportunity for us to reach out to the youths. I've always been participating in this thing every time I know about it, these meetings every time I know about it. But I see people my age and people more elderly. And I think we need to reach out to the youths. I'm not a constant user of Twitter. I don't even do much about it. I'm registered on it. But I think NINAS need to make a statement, and we need to come out when we say things like this, because it's I like the last speaker. He spoke about infringement of freedom of speech and freedom of our freedom, which is part of what NINAS is all about. This constitution and everything is an infringement of our freedom. And I think making a statement by NINAS and coming out and identifying with the users of Twitter, which I know are more of the youths, will help us reach out to them, because we really need them. The country belongs to all of us. We cannot close our eyes and ignore it and say we are all about constitution. These children need direction. And I think it's a very good opportunity for us to really come in and let them know, because I listened to my daughter, listening to their conversation on Twitter, the banned Twitter. They all went out. There are about 2,500 youths discussing today. She would even came there. The Jade were saying what they are planning to do, because they need to take their country back. I didn't know what to do. I can't represent NINAS because I don't have the authority. But I think those type of things, we need to come out. We need to reach out to these youths too. We cannot just be talking among ourselves. They should be very strong part of NINAS. We are not carrying the youths along. We need to do more for them. I don't know. That's my own 2 pence. I don't know.
Thank you very much. If you look at the screen, right? Thank you very much. If you look at the screen right now, you're going to see top 10 free VPNs to stay connected to Twitter in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. Please take a note of this. There's a Windscribe, USA VPN.
This is not what I'm talking about. Coming out openly to let them know. NINAS is not a secret organization anymore. We are all out there. People know. You understand me?
Yes.
We cannot stand by and look at somebody just taking charge of the whole country, bringing us to this ridicule. And the youth just saying that they need direction. We can use this opportunity to be a part of their lives.
Yes, I was going to have somebody. Yes, I was going to have somebody answer your question, but I wanted to point out where you started, which was in the communication.
This is all over the place. I know.
Okay.
I posted it on the NINAS group in Lagos for Lagos women yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Who would like to comment on our sister Yabo's comment? Any comment on that? Please raise your hand and add to that.
I think I'd like to comment. I think
okay, Uche, go ahead.
Yeah, Sister Yabo is absolutely right. There should be a youth strategy that is structured and effective. And I think that time has come. I think NINAS has taken on quite a lot, and in its time it has accomplished quite a lot. And I think, Johnny, you've pretty much covered that in summary. But I think it's something we need to take away. It's really a takeaway, and as part of our mass action, or if you like, the next stage, a call to action. That's what we. I think that's what we have. It is. I think that should be. I think a youth strategy should be part of that. That call to action.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. If the young people understand that this is about them, I mean, this is the future. My goodness, Nigeria is the one place where you see 45-year-olds in the youth wing of political parties. I asked one guy one time, the guy came to me talking about he's a youth wing of a party. I said, how old are you? 45 years old. My goodness, this guy is still struggling for presidency of a youth wing at 45 because he never got his opportunity when he was 18, 19, 20. So he's still hanging there in the youth, because the 90-year-olds, the 80-year-olds are still the ones. The guy has been robbed of his time. So the youth, this is their day. And I'm going to go to where youth engagement is very important. Yes, the youth need to know what is going on, and they need to be part of it. And then our brother Thomas Hilasini, please unmute.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to respond to the issues raised by our sister Yabo. Now, the youth strategy is very, very vital, very, very key to, the point where we are right now, if I may ask tonight how many youths we have on this platform, there are very few. There are very few. And all of this that is happening right now that NINAS is doing, greater percentage is actually to the advantage of the youth in the country. So how do we bring them in? I think the leadership should begin to think on how to engage the youth. Now, I want to make a reference to the event that happened last year during the lockdown, the protest at the Lekki toll gate in Lagos. Now, you see, a lot of youths were mobilized. They came out even when the situation was bad. The government were attacking, but youths were trooping out, ready to face whatever it is because of that move to end all of this police brutality and all of that. So, but one of the strategies that was used actually to capture a lot of youth was to engage most of the celebrities we have. So I want to suggest that the leadership should begin to strategize to engage some celebrities in the country that will help us attract these youth. By the time we get them and they sell this idea out to the youth, I tell you, we are going to have a massive, influx of youth into the vision of NINAS. So I think it's very strategic for us to begin to think in that direction as we proceed to activating people's power. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I must also tell you that those engagements have been going on. In fact, there are videos that have been made where a group of young people have been part of that outreach. I wish Donald was here today to speak more on that. And is Akuche here today? About
are we? Maybe she might come a little later.
Okay.
We might look at some other questions. There are some 4 outstanding questions that came in earlier.
Okay.
I don't know. I might answer most of them. If any person wants to also join, that would be good.
Okay. And we are shooting to wrap up in the next 15 minutes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
This is not going to. Yes. Today we're going to be. We're just going to go pretty fast.
The questions are deep. The first question says, "Is NINAS and Lower Niger Congress, Middle Belt Movement, and Ilana Odua Movement as a project? Is this project not merely a fancy theory?" That is a very serious question, and that's why the answer is going to take more than 10 minutes. So we need to have some patience. So is NINAS merely a fancy theory? It's a very serious question. Now, judging by the mere fact that a lot of people in the country are now openly speaking strongly against the 1999 Constitution, following the issuance of the constitutional force majeure on 16th of December last year. That's already a testament that NINAS project is not merely a theory. The fact that other countries have decommissioned their constitutions successfully is another piece of evidence that what NINAS is saying is not a fancy theory. Taking our attention next to self-determination and sovereignty of ethnic nationalities, the United Nations Charter, as well as other international laws, are very clear that it is a right that is inalienable from the ethnic nationalities. And that is what NINAS is talking about. Looking next at the United Nations assessment of Nigerian situation when the United Nations Special Rapporteur visited Nigeria in 2019, she clearly identified the constitutional arrangement in Nigeria as a pressure cooker for injustice. Pressure cooker for injustice. And that is exactly what NINAS has been talking about. Okay? This constitution creates an apartheid system similar to what was experienced in South Africa. Next, the issue of Nigeria being a secular state, and yet the far northern 12 states have imposed Sharia into the country, effectively seceding already from the Union of Nigeria. According to even this constitution, section 10 makes it clear that there should be no state religion. The 12 states, there's 12 contiguous states in the far north, established Sharia simultaneously in the year 2000. Now, looking into some of the items contained in that constitution should make it clear to everyone that there is no theory, there's no fantasy, not even just a plan, but a necessity. It is a necessity to not just restore sovereignty, but to save the lives of the indigenous peoples of the land who are facing an existential threat from a small minority of people who have been trying to steal the land, take away their religion, and impose their own religion, and enslave those that they do not kill in the process of imposing their own religion. They have been doing that for decades. And they have had help from outside. So let's talk, point A, assets and resources have been captured, and in pretty much every money generating sector in Nigeria today, you will find a Fulani man in charge of that position, including NNPC or armed forces and so on. Citizens' benefits are unenforceable. A president cannot emerge from the middle belt, from the south, no. Unless if some miracle happened, like the time it happened at the time of President Goodluck Jonathan. Even if they emerge, they cannot influence much to change the outcome of that constitution. I will tell you why later. This question is a very serious question. That's why I'm giving a lot of time to it. Please have patience. The revenue sharing formula is completely skewed. I hope you understand the word skewed. It is completely skewed to send the majority of the wealth to the far north. Given that the three criteria being used by this constitution to share revenue are what? Landmass, local government area, population. And this gives rise to the situation where a non-oil producing state like Kano gets more oil revenue than oil producing states like Abia, Imo, Bayelsa. Now, when we are talking about things being skewed, the structure of Nigeria today by this constitution is so skewed that if you actually understand it, you will lose sleep. Let me give you a simple example. Lagos State and Kano State, in the past, they had equal number of local government areas, 40-40. But the successive military junta from the north have continuously increased the number of local government areas in Kano State. From 44, they have continued to increase it until in total 72 local government areas, and then they broke it into two, called one part Jigawa State. And then Kano remained with 44 local government areas, and Jigawa State, carved out of Kano, got 27 local government areas. That is Kano State that had the same number of local government areas with Lagos. Lagos today is still with its 40 local government areas, while Kano has produced 71 local government areas. And Lagos State collects huge tax from me and you, okay? And this tax comes to the sharing point, and they will take the number of local government areas to share this tax. Who is fooling who? Please have patience. This question is a very serious one. The revenue sharing formula is totally skewed. I've mentioned it, okay? Insecurity and extrajudicial killings occurring with impunity today is carefully packaged and hidden in that so-called constitution, resulting in over 100,000 dead already from Fulani herdsmen and other terrorists. Almost 4 million people are today, as we are speaking, my brothers and sisters, are displaced in their land. Over 300,000 people have had to flee from their land. And over 8 million people are in need of urgent aid. We don't understand the dire nature of the situation. So is NINAS theory fantasy? This is life-saving situation, my brothers and sisters. And much more, but let's look at the impact of the governing structure that has been set up to keep this monstrosity in place. Abject poverty for over 105 million people, as Nigeria takes the place atop the world, as the poverty capital of the world, as the cost of governance exceeds 72% of the income. Can you imagine that? 72, in fact, over 80%, if you put everything together, over 80% today of our resources go into cost of governance. Is the message of NINAS fantasy? We have federal senators taking home over $600,000 per year. President Biden doesn't get that money per year. Okay? And the allowances you don't even mention it. And the masses are starving, the masses are wearing rags, the masses are lacking shelter. Some of those still governing even receive obscene amounts in pension payments while they are still working. Is NINAS project a theory? Tell that to the French monarchs who saw the power of the people emerge during the French Revolution. Tell that to them. But what is wrong with theory anyway? Because there must be theory. Most of the cars we have today, they were built out of theories, yeah? Everything in this world is based on some theory or other. And it is that theory that gives birth to constitutions and changes to those constitutions, laws, advancements in medicine, in bringing about revolutions, bringing about changes in structures. The American situation, they were changed because some people had some dreams, some people had some theories. Okay, yes. There is so much else to be said, but just this last one. A constitution is a social contract. Okay, and the Nigerian constitution contract has a forged signature on it. The Nigerian constitutional contract, that social contract, has a false signature on it, a forged one. Gentlemen and ladies, if you have a forged document, do you amend it?
No, it's done on them.
You don't amend a forged document. You trash it. You take a pair of scissors. You cut it, you shred it, and you trash it. So all this talk about constitutional amendment, they have been amended since 1999 when people discovered that the whole thing is farce. They have been amended. It's all nonsense, abject nonsense. And you, the people, we, the people, are the ones who must take up this load of getting that in trashed and creating a new constitution for us. Now, the forged document subverts the will of the people that clearly called for multiple self-governing and autonomous governments with their own constitutions and management of their own assets. And it is enslaving the majority of the people. A situation referred to as what as exactly apartheid that was toppled in South Africa. And it will be toppled in Nigeria under the NINAS constitutional force majeure. A fancy theory.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
He said, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that impassioned response to that. You see, one of the I wouldn't say funny thing, one of the misconceptions of a constitution is people take it for granted. People don't know that that thing is a receipt. When police stop you on the road, what are they asking you for? They're asking you for the particulars of the car. You're driving the car, you have the steering, the engine is on, and still they're asking you for particulars. That's because there's the document that says that you own the car. That's the document that entitles you to your house is not whether you built it or not. What entitles you to your house is not whether you built it. You did not build that house. You're not the electrician. You're not the mason. You're not the carpenter. Mm-hmm. What entitles you is the document that says that it is yours. So when somebody wants to get your house, they go for the document. They can go for the document. So they pay money, you give them the document, and that document makes it theirs. These people came at us with a forged document. So you don't fight a document with fisticuff. You fight it with another document. We have a document now that says we did not make that one. That superior document is the constitutional force majeure. It's a union dispute. We did not make it. So deal with my own proposition. We did not make it. So you stood at that forged document and you say, you gave yourself everything. It is grand theft. That's what it is. And then this document comes in and says, what some people have called that document comes out and says no. And that is where we are right now. With all of us saying it, we did not make this constitution. It cancels, it puts in dispute that constitution, which is a document made by men. There's more of us right now standing with the force majeure than those that actually made the constitution. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that, Seb. Adeoye? Adeoye King? We're going to take, and we'll, yes, Adeoye King, please. And we're going to wrap up in just a few minutes.
Okay, just want to make a quick comment concerning what Iyabo said earlier, that the youth needs to be carried along and they really have to be actively involved in this, in what NINAS is doing. So I think there is a disconnect in the sense that this Twitter ban that happened yesterday, there was actually a meeting today by the organizers of the NSAS protest. Reno, DJ Switch, there was Messi, there's Tasha, there's a whole lot of people coming together on Twitter space. Just it ended just before I joined this meeting. I was part of it, and I listened to the speeches of a whole lot of them. And what I gather is that what they are advocating for is a better Nigeria, a better one Nigeria. Like they want to make the country, Reno was even saying she's just looking for direction. She is ready to fight. She's just looking for that direction. So I think there's a bit of disconnect, because I actually later I sent her the invite to this meeting. I sent her the invite, and I also did a DM to her that, look, just go through this NINAS Twitter and just read a bit about it. definitely you will get answers to some of these questions there. So hopefully, I hope she's going to do that. What I'm just trying to let us understand now is that the youth of today, they're actually looking at going for another protest, maybe June 12 or things like that. We cannot be going for protest for something. If we want to solve the problem, we should know what the problem really is. All this issue of the constitution is a fraud and all that, like we have to have our own constitution, I don't think it's in their books. I don't even think they are aware of all this. What they are looking at is how I was hearing someone suggest that, okay, let everybody go back to their states, meet your governors, your senators, you can recall them back, and in my mind, I was laughing. I could not speak on the forum, but I was laughing. You want to go and recall senator? How is that the way? Some people were even saying, okay, let them form it as a group. Maybe they can pick a candidate among them. So I think the idea of NINAS really needs to get to the youth. If the idea of NINAS could get to the youth, I'm very positive that we would achieve more. We would achieve more.
Yes. I thank you very much. We're about to wrap up now. There's another engagement, another meeting coming up at Njenje in just a few minutes. And so we need to wrap up before they start.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
There are a couple of questions, but we address them then next week, right?
Well, if you can take them within like a couple of minutes, no, just really fast. So
yeah,
we're not.
Okay. I could try. Second question was it looks like it's the same person that sent in that question, who was asking whether this theory is a fantasy, right? It's a fancy project. He said, where has this worked before? Can any of you answer it, or should I answer it?
South Africa.
Okay, so where has it worked before? One, South Africa. Two,
yes.
Ghana. Oh, okay, yeah. Three, Chile. Chile just happened not long ago, and even in Algeria also the commission their constitution and change. So it has happened, okay. And if we want to make our own to be in a special way, we make it to be in a special way. Let us be also the leaders, yes. Okay. Now, if you are asking about the division of a country, like it looks like, you know, if the constitution goes down, some people might say they want to ex-federate. Yeah. First, we must remind all that Nigeria was 4 separate governments with 4 separate constitutions and a small center. That is the Nigeria our forefathers negotiated. They negotiated in Lagos. They went to Lancaster in England. They negotiated. They came back to Lagos. They continued 1957, 1958, 1959. They negotiated these things, okay, until the military people did coup. And then the military people continued to do coup. This military junta, they destroyed the agreement that we have. We have 4 separate constitutions. So we are not, NINAS is not saying anything new, no. NINAS is just saying all the things that the military people did, they have to be reversed. We have to go back and give sovereignty to the people. Nobody is seceding. We all love Nigeria, for goodness sake. But not the unitary Nigeria that the military people created. It has become a coven of death for the indigenous people. Okay. Another question. With just 14,000 views, how many is it? Following, there was a lady, Dr. Anosika, I think, made a video footage. Okay. He said, is NINAS speaking the right language to the right people? Oh, well, is NINAS speaking the right language to the right people? First of all, that video in March, in March 17th, there was World Press Conference, yeah? And that World Press Conference, it was watched by over 4 million people live. 4 million. Njenje Media confirms it. And we had tons of other outings watched by thousands of people. So the NINAS message has been in various newspapers, it has been in TV programs, and so on and so forth. Yes, NINAS has not reached the enough, because in fact, the message of NINAS should be like an anthem in every secondary school, in every primary school, and we must achieve it.
Yes, and then Seb, we're going to stop there because of time. Yes, thank you very much. And for people to also know that all these reactions from the international community, the stakeholders, European Union, United States government, the UK, and all these governments, all these organizations, they have been informed about the force majeure. They all have copies. They were delivered to all of them, all the agencies. And the reactions that you're getting internationally, they are a result of what NINAS has done. This is a powerful thing. Nobody should take it for granted. This is the solution. That's why you don't see us here, insulting Buhari and doing all kinds of things, because Buhari is a symptom of the problem. He's not the problem. The problem is the constitution that puts him in that position. Look at what somebody asked a question about what's happening in Eastern Nigeria. It is that constitution that put them in that space. It's that constitution that gives them the power to control the ports of Lagos. If they want to destroy you, they don't even have to see you. They can just, if you're a business person, they want to shut you down, just do mortgage alone. They just target you at the seaport and kill you with do mortgage. And you're out of business the next day. Eh?
Johnny, you mentioned a very important thing. Let it be clearly understood that Buhari is not the problem.
Yes.
Buhari is only a symptom.
Yes.
Not a symptom. And let it also be understood that each of us, we have a right to our faith. Okay? If people believe that they must get other people to their faith by force, they have a right to have that belief. They have a right to pursue that belief. The question is, are we ready to accept that? Are we ready to accept it as a union? If you're not ready, then you have to work to let them know. You have to work and get your sovereignty. Okay? Our people, our forefathers negotiated a secular union. Secular union.
Exactly.
Sharia is incompatible with the secular union.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's close with one thing because of the constraints of time. Just one thing. Think about this. Many people are calling for their governors to defend them. Why are our governors not defending us?
The same
did you know that your governor does not have the right to give any order to even the lowest ranked police officer in your state? Did you know that? That I think it's a section 115, subsection 4 or so of the Nigerian Constitution that says that when a governor gives a police officer instruction, order, that police officer must check with Abuja and for Abuja to approve before he obeys that governor. So you're asking for defense, for somebody to defend you who has no power to defend you. In fact, we're even talking about police, Army, Air Force, Navy, those ones are out of the way, the security agencies. A governor does not know when a police commissioner is put in his state. He does not even know. He has no control over that. He cannot license arms. He cannot give you arms. Those things are in the exclusive list. So when you're talking about your security, that governor is afraid for his life too, because he can't defend himself. Picture Governor Odom in the bush running for his life because he was physically attacked. So there's so much that that constitution does. That is the problem. If you think you are going to take them on physically, think about this. They have this machinery that has been built since 1960 that can take you on physically and dominate you. Where you have them is in the constitution, where you can take that power. And once you take that power, take charge of your sovereignty, you decide what happens there. And that is where the war is, the real battle. Physical battle, you can't match. Is it 2nd Division, 5th Division, or whatever, military? Is it the Navy? Is it the Air Force that you're going to take on and prevail? No. Go for the Constitution. They can't fight you there. We have them on a pinfall there because we did not make it. Fraudulent documents must be fraudulent documents. The value of a fraudulent document is zero. It's nothing. Yes, a fake 100 naira can buy you maybe 100 naira stuff until you discover that it is fake. The moment you discover that it is fake, it loses 100% value. You do not credit the forger for the 5 naira because, you see, he went for all the trouble he went through to produce the fake money. You don't do that. It becomes zero. So that is how we have this thing, and it's for everybody to say, we did not make it. Come there and stand on that truth and win your freedom. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Seb. Thank you, everyone who contributed today. And,
thank you, Jonah.
God bless you all.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the meeting now. Njenje has another one coming shortly. And thank you very much. You all have a
Thank
blessed.
you for attending. Please carry the message to all your family and friends, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.